I'm going to start with something that might feel a bit uncomfortable to hear, but stay with me for a moment. If you notice yourself getting defensive at any point, whether it's at the start, in the middle, or even at the end, that's completely fine. Just pay attention to it. Ask yourself why that feeling is coming up. Because if you really listen closely, this might explain almost every relationship you've ever experienced. You are not unlucky in love. There is nothing wrong with you, and you are not simply bad at choosing people. It may feel that way sometimes, but there is actually a deeper reason behind it. The story you keep repeating in your mind about your love life is not accurate, and honestly, it is unfair to you. So let me break something down for you that can completely shift how you see things. What is really happening is that you are drawn to what your nervous system already knows. You are choosing what feels familiar. And if you've ever heard me talk about this before, you know I emphasize this a lot because once it clicks, everything starts to make sense. Until you understand why something feels familiar, you will keep repeating the same relationship pattern again and again, just with different people. You might call it chemistry, you might call it timing, or even fate. But it is not any of those things. It feels that way, but it is actually something much more predictable. When I talk about this, I am referring to ideas studied by experts like Dr. Tara Swart, who explains how our brain works in these patterns. But let's slow this down because many people hear this idea and still do not fully understand it. Most people believe attraction is based on looks, perfect timing, or that instant spark. You know that feeling when you say, I don't know, it just felt right. But attraction is not magic. It is not random. Attraction is pattern recognition. Your brain and nervous system are constantly scanning your surroundings, searching for what feels known, not what is healthy or safe. Familiar always comes first, and here is the important part. Familiar does not mean good. It simply means your body knows how to handle it. Your system recognizes it, so it feels easier to move toward it. This is a key difference that many people miss. Just because something feels natural does not mean it is right for you. It only means your body has experienced something similar before. Your nervous system learned what love felt like long before you could even explain it. Before you had logic or adult understanding, you were already absorbing these experiences. As a child, you learned what love looked like through your parents, caregivers, and early relationships. Whatever you felt during that time became your definition of love, whether it was calm, distant, chaotic, or inconsistent. That early experience created a blueprint inside you. And that blueprint is still active, running quietly in the background of your life. You may not be aware of it, and you are not consciously choosing it, but it strongly shapes who you feel attracted to as an adult. It influences your decisions more than you realize. Let's make this very simple. This is where many people suddenly understand everything. If you grew up feeling unseen or emotionally ignored, or like you had to fight for attention, your system learned that love feels distant. So when someone shows up and is fully present, consistent, and available, it might actually feel uncomfortable to you. You might say things like, they are really nice, but I just don't feel anything, or something is missing. You cannot explain what that missing thing is, but you feel it anyway. Then someone else appears. They are inconsistent. Sometimes they give attention, sometimes they pull away, and suddenly you feel hooked. That feeling is not love, it is familiarity. Your body recognizes the pattern and responds to it. It says, I know this feeling. That strong pull you feel is not romance, it is recognition. Your system is reacting to something it has already learned, something it believes it understands, even if it hurts you. Now think about this. If you had to earn love growing up, where affection came only when you behaved well or achieved something, you learned that love requires effort. You learned that you have to work for it. So as an adult, you may find yourself attracted to people who do not fully give themselves to you. You may overgive, over-explain, and do more than necessary just to keep someone. You might tell yourself that you are patient or loyal. You might say you do not give up easily. But what is really happening is that your nervous system is replaying an old pattern. It is repeating what it learned a long time ago. Now let's talk about chaos, because this is very common. If your environment growing up was filled with tension, yelling, or emotional unpredictability, your system learned that intensity equals connection. Calm situations may feel strange or even boring to you. You might say there is no spark, but that is not the full truth. What you are actually feeling is a lack of activation. Your nervous system is not being triggered. And here is something important. Your body cannot easily tell the difference between excitement and anxiety. Both can feel like a racing heart, constant thoughts, and strong emotions. That intensity can feel like passion, but it is not. Real intimacy feels steady. It feels safe and calm. It does not create panic or urgency. Urgency often comes from wounds, not from love. But many people confuse intensity with connection because that is what they are used to. They mistake chaos for closeness without realizing it. If you have experienced abandonment, whether emotional or physical, you may be drawn to people who are unavailable, people who cannot fully show up. Your system believes that if you can finally get this person to choose you, then you will feel worthy. But this does not heal the wound, it only repeats it. The same applies to rejection, neglect, and control. You cannot heal inside the same pattern that caused the pain in the first place. That is a difficult truth, but it is an important one. Many people keep asking why this keeps happening, but the answer is simple. The pattern has not changed yet. There is also a biological side to this. Uncertainty releases dopamine in your brain. It is the same system involved in things like gambling. When someone is unpredictable, your brain stays engaged. You keep waiting, hoping, and wondering. That creates obsession, and obsession can feel powerful, but it is not love. Love does not make you anxious all the time. It does not make you question yourself or lose who you are. Love does not keep you in constant confusion. That feeling is your body reacting in survival mode. Healthy attraction feels different. It feels stable. It grows slowly and does not overwhelm you. As you begin to heal and understand these patterns, your attraction will start to change. At first, it may feel wrong. It may feel unfamiliar. People who are actually good for you will not trigger your old wounds. They will be consistent, clear, and emotionally available. And strangely, you might feel nothing at first, but that does not mean there is no connection. It simply means there is no chaos. Healing can feel lonely because you outgrow what once felt exciting. You may want to go back to what feels familiar, even if it is unhealthy, but unfamiliar does not mean bad. It often means growth. Your nervous system needs to learn safety. Without that, real security will always feel strange. This is also why people sometimes sabotage healthy relationships. They create problems or distance because calm feels uncomfortable. It feels unfamiliar, and unfamiliar can feel threatening to a system used to chaos. So what can you do? First, stop blaming yourself. These patterns were once helpful. They helped you survive. But survival patterns do not create healthy relationships. Second, stop asking why you attract these people. Instead, ask what part of you recognizes them. That question leads to real answers. Finally, understand this clearly. You do not attract better partners just by wanting better ones. You attract better partners by becoming safe within yourself. When your nervous system heals, your attraction changes, consistency becomes attractive, clarity feels exciting, effort feels normal and expected. The people who once had power over you will no longer affect you. It is not because you have become cold, it is because you have grown. That is not avoidance. That is evolution. And the next time you notice a familiar pattern, do not ignore it. Pause and look inward. Ask yourself what it means. When you find that answer, everything begins to shift. You start recognizing these patterns in future relationships. You begin to move toward what feels unfamiliar but healthy. And that path, even though it feels uncomfortable at first, is the path that leads to real growth. Trust that process.